Joining me now is Democratic Congressman from Virginia, Eugene Vindman. He's a member of the House Armed Services Committee and a retired Army colonel. Congressman, I wanted to talk to you because you have been focused on these bets for weeks now. We'll talk about the president's response later. Your reaction to the charges first.
Well, it's an outrageous lapse in good order and discipline, in military efficiency. It's a betrayal of trust of others in uniform in the country, and it is unacceptable, and it needs to be stamped out before American lives and military missions are put in jeopardy.
You sent a letter to Polymarket demanding that they preserve all the records on these kinds of suspicious bets. You want Congress to take some action. What do you want to happen next?
Yeah, absolutely. I want Polymarket to preserve the records. I think there needs to be a full congressional investigation. I think these markets right now are insufficiently regulated. You can bet on things that are frankly unacceptable, on things related to U.S. national security. And these are perverse incentives. I mean, the fact that this soldier was able to bet on something that he should have been focused on the mission, he should have been focused on protecting his buddies, and he should have been focused on U.S. national security. What he was focused on, at least in part, and distracted by, was this perverse personal incentive of self-enrichment. And that is unacceptable, and it needs to be precluded. And so one of the things we're asking for, other than getting a hold of the documents in a congressional investigation, is that the Secretary of Defense issue a clear regulation. I believe this conduct is already illegal. As a former prosecutor, I think I would have a sufficient basis to charge something like this under the UCMJ. But the Secretary of Defense needs to make it very clear by issuing an order or a regulation that this conduct is unacceptable and prohibited.
Yeah, it's remarkable that these bets happened at all, according to the Department of Justice, but that they happened just hours before the mission. And there have been several other suspicious trades related to the war in Iran. There's this unknown trader made nearly $1 million from some pretty well-timed bets on the U.S.-Israeli strikes. How widespread do you think this is?
Well, look, I think there's been public reporting about some particularly egregious incidents. There could be other incidents and other bets below a certain threshold that need to be fully investigated. But I'll tell you, whether it's a couple hours or a full 24 hours, that's an eternity in military operations. That's plenty of time to either adjust troop dispositions or put air defense assets on guard. It could put very easily. It could be putting American lives, the mission at risk, and adversaries, if they're monitoring this and they see unusual whale-like trades, can take precautionary measures.
Let me read something that your colleague in the House, Anna Paulina Luna, she just posted and give me a response to it. I'm calling for this guy to be pardoned. Unless the DOJ plans on going after all the crooks in Congress currently insider trading, this is simply skewed justice. She goes on to say that she doesn't support his actions, just that there's a double standard. What do you think about that?
Well, this whataboutism is ridiculous. And so this soldier has undermined good order and discipline. He has betrayed the trust of his unit. And he needs to be held accountable. The military is a self-policing profession. Certain standards are expected, and if you fail to meet those standards, then you're held accountable. In this case, where the action is quite serious, I think that there ought to be at least a thorough investigation and consideration of a prosecution. Pardoning is an outrageous statement. I mean, it frankly belittles the dangerous nature of these actions, just like the statement that you read from the president. I mean, that was also outrageous, likening this to Pete Rose. Pete Rose was banned for life from baseball, but this is not a game. This is life and death, and it's U.S. national security. It's not a game.
Congressman Eugene Vindman, thank you.